What's up YouTube, Team Deception here with kind of a deck profile thing or whatever for YCS Providence. Me, Robbie Cole, aka Cole40, and a few of my other friends and his friends will be going and staying in the same hotel room. So, I mean, he's going to be kind of staying here for a couple days, but we're going to be staying at the hotel during the weekend for the most part. Like, he's coming here to my house, I think Thursday or Friday morning, something like that. They're going to be staying here for a little bit to sleep or whatever, playtest, and then later on that day, I think we were going to go get the hotel room or whatever, and then eventually pre-register and all that other happy crap. Then on Sunday he was going to stay here, or him and the people he's going with are going to stay here at my house, and then they're going to go home then. But yeah, that's kind of how that whole thing is going to work out. Another thing is, I'm like, whenever about the deck itself, this isn't like, this might actually change, and I don't mean by the entire deck. I mean there's a few cards in here that might change just before the event actually occurs, because I'm going to be borrowing cards from some of the people that I go with, as well as things like that. So yeah, if any of you haven't kind of been paying attention to me, or those of you who don't know me in real life or whatever, I don't remember if I've actually told anyone online as to whether or not I was going to actually be playing this, but yes, I'm going to be playing windups. This is kind of just like something I feel like might be my best shot. I guess I don't know if that really makes sense to anyone, but this is kind of like a feeling I have that this might actually do better for me than the other decks that I actually do have at my disposal. So I figure, why not? So let's just kind of get into it. We got 3 rabbits. Basically, okay, hey, you attack me or try to destroy me, I just bounce, and then, it's whatever. Like, I can just hop out of the way. 3 rats, kind of standard in every windup deck. You kind of have to use it in this format, especially if you're trying to do the loop thing with Shockmaster and shit. It's also there for just your exceed plays and recycling shit from your graveyard. I know that a lot of people prefer only 2, but I prefer 3. This is in case I decide to do like that turn 1 Shockmaster thing, because I don't like the idea of bringing out 2 sharks from my deck just to make, or bring out 2 more level 4s. Normally what happens is one of them winds up under the Papal Operative, then I end up bringing out this one again with like Rat or whatever, and then being able to bring out the 3rd one from my deck with the Magicians and Mighty Play, because then I can bring out a Shark and a Magician and normally all 3. And like, so far during playtesting, I've never had a problem with actually dead drawing this because of that very reason. Like, I'd make Shockmaster and all of them would already be in play, and I would never have to worry about dead drawing them. So far it seems to be pretty decent. If it starts proving to be bad, I'm going to drop it down to 2. But like I said, I'm still in the middle of playtesting, so this deck might see some changes before the event. Standard 3 sharks. You kind of have to have this card in the deck. I mean, seriously, it's Windup Shark. This thing's adorable, and it seriously just wrecks crap. You summon Magician, summon Shark, and then you go off until you have the Shockmaster, Papal Operative, and in Mighty Play. I've done it quite a few times with this deck so far, so I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Like, I haven't played this deck in a while. Like, I've played windups before, but I haven't really tested the new version of windups. But I'm getting the hang of it. So yeah. So that's, I think, all the that's all the windups for the deck. I don't have Maxx's. These will be possibly Maxx's. The way things are going to work with this is if Robbie's friend's teammate doesn't go, then his Maxx's will be available for to be borrowed, and so I will probably play Maxx's over these if I can borrow them. If not, then I have these in here just for the fact that it's like, okay, I can discard, there goes your Yuri armor, because you can't, flip it face down or anything. It'll just get negated if you attempt to. It stops a whole bunch of shit like that. Like, it stops any of the Rogue and Sector decks that might see play now. Thank you very much, Billy Break. It stops the whole Machina thing as well. Like, you can discard target, what's it called? Gear Frame if they summon it. You can do that on Arsenal, and like I said, with armor. It's also there for a few other decks. Obviously I would side this out against Darkhold though, but it's also got some play against the Dino Rabbit deck as well. 2 Snowman Eaters. In a way, I'm kind of iffy on playing them in the main deck, but that's just me personally. So far during testing, it's actually been a good card to have in my hand if I couldn't go off with my windups. Just set it and watch them walk right into it. And I mean, like, it's good against the Dino Rabbit matchup. Like if you can force their Logia and attack it, you can get their Logia off the field. Or if they summon Dolka, then you force them to, you know, do whatever. Or you usually have some kind of back row to protect it. So I mean, it's just overall a decent card. 2 tour guides, kind of, you know, self-explanatory. They're tour guides. I know a lot of people, especially the one that won Toronto, didn't use 2 tour guide targets. I currently am. In a way, this is kind of like running a third, what's it called in the deck, Snowman Eater. But this can target anything that's not face up. If they attack it, I can target a face up monster if I want to, which is kind of the upside of this. But the problem with it is it doesn't have the 1900 wall, which I can kind of understand why a lot of people wouldn't prefer it then. But that's just, you know, I just feel like during playtesting so far, it's actually been pretty good. And the last monster is my Sangan. Kind of self-explanatory. You want to get your Shark, your Magician, your Veiler, or Maxx, depending on what I end up using at Providence. Rat, like everything in this deck is searchable by Sangan. You really need to be using it. Onto the spells, 3 factories. Basically your black rolling for the deck. Mirror match, you go, okay, I get free searches. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Probably one of the best cards in the mirror match, just because if you get yours out first and they can't get to theirs, or if they're not using it at all, you get advantage because they keep activating their effects and shit. So I mean, it's just, in my opinion, one of my favorite cards for this deck. On Double Duality, I'm a little iffy on this card, but at the same time, I can understand why it's used in some of the top decks that pros, quote unquote, and all in play. It gets you to your factory, it gets you to your key or pieces to your wind-up shit. If you can't get to it, and you, like, if you don't have a rabbit or whatever and you reveal it, you can get to a rabbit. If you need defensive cards, this is also a great card to get to those cards. It just adds, I think, a little more consistency. And, you know, double MST. I have a third one in the side deck. I don't know if my side deck's 100% done, so I may not show it. I don't even know where that deck box is, so I mean, whatever. I had this deck pulled out just in preparation for this video. You kind of want to get rid of the back row, especially if you're attempting to go off late game. Just because, like, if you manage to turn 1 Shockmaster or whatever, you really don't need to bother MSTing, I guess. But it's also a good thing to have. And there's probably more reasons to that, but you know. The staple Heavy Storm Dark Holes, not even going to bother explaining. Monster Reborn, look at my pretty beat up Monster Reborn. I'm actually looking to replace this with a Legendary Collection one. If you guys have one, let me know. I'm not sure what I'm going to value it at, but you know. There's also, speaking of Legendary Collection, I know this is mid, whatever, but if you have hollow staples, let me know. I'm kind of looking for them. Last spell is Pot of Avarice. Kind of need this. Just recycle your wind-up shit back to your deck, especially things like Zenmighty. If you side in the Hunter, you can potentially loop more cards out of their hand, things like that. Onto traps, we got 2 deep prisons, defensive kind of thing. Like if you want to protect your Zenmighty for a turn or something, and you think that a deep prison is more than enough, then by all means. It's also there for getting rid of things like Zen mains and other exceeds that are like, hey guys, I'm a pain in your ass. So yeah. Double Bottomless. This card seems like it's a really, really good card this format. It's not that great against the Giria matchup, but it is great for getting rid of the Machine of Fortresses and stuff. They just summon it and go, okay, fine, I'll just Bottomless it. I mean, it's whatever. It gets that major threat off the field. And I know that a lot of, like, the Giria players and the people that play against them, they complain a lot about Big Eye and stuff whenever it's summoned because of the whole fucking fortress play. If you can get rid of one of those fortresses, you should force them to overextend in order to maybe get out 2 more if they happen to have them in their possession. It's also great for the Dino Rabbit matchup, as well as quite a few other matchups as well. I think in the mirror match I might side these out, just because, like, the windups themselves, except for Shark, really just don't get hit by this at all. So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still playtesting, so I'm just, you know. Double Torrential. In a way, I was skeptical about using this because currently this format I don't like using this card, especially if I want to. What's the word for this? Just putting, like, you know, putting things on the field and just sitting on them, like wanting to keep your monsters out there and just not lose them. Like, example would be Heretics going off turn 1 with like 2 Gaia Dragons or Red Eyes Darkness Metal and some other bullshit. If like you don't want to be Darkhold, then you obviously don't want to be Torrential. And I've found that to be kind of a major thing for me in like the past few weeks, that I just didn't want to have to deal with that kind of crap. But yeah, Torrential in here seems like it might be actually a decent card, just for the fact that I can wind up Rat and all that other shit. So I mean, it has a little more playability in this for me, at least. Double Mirror Force, by far one of my favorite cards this format. It's a slower format. Not many people that I know of are still using Starlight Road, even though I think that you really should be. Mirror Force is just like that card that just says, hey, I'm going to remove every threat from your field that's in attack position. Like, there are some matchups that I think that this may actually be a very terrible card in, like in sectors, the rogue ones that happen to draw the nuts, as well as probably, I don't fucking know, there's just a whole bunch of other shit that you might not want to use these against, but because that's why I'm seeing a lot of people only actually play one, if any, but I like to. Staple Solemn Warnings, and last but not least, the Solemn Judgment. I think that these are really self-explanatory as well. That's not it, it's this one. I'm missing cards in the extra deck, so I'm not going to show the extra deck. I will probably mention that shit in the upcoming binder video that I probably will do tomorrow or whenever, like depending on when I did my last one, I'll probably upload another one. But the side, like I said with Maxx in the main deck, this will be a third Maxx if possible. If not, then I can just keep it in. I mean, it's whatever. It's, yeah. One Snowman Eater to kind of max out the Snowmans. The Hunter, I initially wanted to main deck this, but I guess it's more of like a side thing against Chaos Dragons in what's it called, Dark World. Thunder Kings, I know that Toronto had mained these. I kind of didn't like the idea of it. Like, it's not a terrible card, don't get me wrong, and I know a lot of people might think, oh, you're a bad player for thinking that it's not that great of a card in the main deck. That's not entirely true. Like, part of the reason why I have it in the side right now is because I haven't tested it in the main deck, and I know that there are things like Duality and fucking Wind Up Factory that this clashes with, so I kind of wanted to just try siding it, you know, but, yeah. 2D fissures for the Dark World, as well as, I don't know, it's mainly Dark World. Like, it's kind of like whatever, I don't want to run into that. I think Heroes is another thing that this would be an excellent card for, but yeah, I don't want to use fucking macro, because for obvious reasons. Double Soul Taker makes Shining mistiming, makes Pulsar mistiming, gets threats off the field. I mean, why the hell not? It's whatever, seriously. Double Piece, everything in my deck, main deck wise anyways, none including the extra deck, is 1500 or less. So obviously Shark can't attack with this out, but everything else can. Like, I can just keep attacking with Rabbit and be like, hey guys, get at me. So, 2 Fiendish Chains. If I do get the Maxx, then I will probably side the C's out for these, just because, like, that way if I need the negation instead of the draw power, I would probably side into these instead. I'm not sure what I would do with this. Like, either I'll replace this with the last card that's in the side deck, because I've been looking to, you know, make room for another one. That's probably what I'll end up doing, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, my idea here would be to side these and these in for certain decks, just to kind of stop effects and shit, and not have to worry about my hand traps being dead because of defissure or whatever. So not last, but the third MST, siding this in, because I know that back row hate is something that's kind of, you know, really don't need to explain that anymore. And 1 Dust Tornado, this is something, like I said, I'm possibly going to take this 2 over this effect over if I can get another Maxx and I can't get a third for the side deck. I'm not sure how many Robbie's Friends teammate has that are possibly available to be borrowed, if they're, you know, available at all. So yeah, but that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think, what you might change or add, any interesting tech that you might actually come up with, because I mean, I really want to, like, take in all the suggestions that I can, because I really want to do well at this event. You know, like, hey guys, I came home with, you know, an invite or whatever. It'd be kind of interesting if I could do that, but I'm not expecting anything. So yeah, rate, comment, subscribe. Another thing I'm going to actually inform all you guys about before I end this video, I may not be able to go to my locals for the next 3 or so weeks because of Providence. Money is tight, so obviously I have to kind of save up what I can for that, and the rest of the money has to go towards things that are more important, like bills, food, and stuff like that. So that's that. I'm also trying to get Black and White 2 before Providence, which is going to be a major pain in the ass as well. But yeah. So yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, all that other crap. And I keep forgetting to say this. Because of the no locals thing, I'm not going to be able to do any dual videos except for this week. I have some from the last time I was at locals. There was no locals this past weekend because of a Magic tournament, and it was a sneak preview or whatever, and I guess because the store got cut in half because of having a hard time paying bills or whatever, I guess they had to do it 2 days for the sneak. But I do have dual videos for this week, but after that it's gonna have to be whatever. And I do apologize to you guys for that. I'm also trying to work on getting this contest thing going, because I know for a fact that there are probably people out there that want this contest to happen, and yeah. I really don't think there's anything else. Rate, comment, subscribe, all the other happy crap. Be sure to stay tuned either later today or tomorrow for a binary video. Then the dual videos will follow after that. So yeah, peace guys.